Happy Wednesday, y'all. It's Commissioner Zach, Coach Zach here. Happy Wednesday. We are in what is it, week 5? Let's see. Everybody is 8 games in, so 4 weeks, so we are on week 5. Uh, everybody got one win now. I think we have 2 1-7 teams, myself and Kay Ritter. And then we have, 1-7. I think I said that right. And then we have a couple 7-1. I know Trav. I think Legend 24 is 7-1. And then we have I believe, a couple 6-2 teams. So, top to bottom, we've got some interesting things going on that we're going to try to cover. First of all, let's talk about some of the trades that have been going on. We've got a lot to talk about. We got bylaws, trades, future of the league, and then matchup of the week, and I'll predict the week, some of the predictions, stuff like that. So let's talk about some of the trades. Trav and I's trade was a big one. I traded him Kamara and Alan Lazard for 2 firsts, Nick Chubb, and Rashad Bateman. I think I gave him a second and third. I think the writing was on the wall. Trav's trying to win this year. He's all in. With Chubb going down, he needed another running back. So I gave him, Kamara. Kamara would have helped me, but not that I'm tanking, but I don't necessarily want to win. You can tell I'm building for the future. And I think that Chubb, from what I'm reading, is going to come back healthy. And he's still young enough that even if he doesn't have a great year next year, he still should be able to give me, 5 years max. I'll take 3 good years out of Chubb. So I'll take my chances there. So that's kind of why we had made that trade. I think as we're talking about trading and the discussion that was in the league chat today, what is so crazy about this league, and if you've been following it, if you're in the league, if you're just stopping by the page and you want to listen to a podcast and you're like, what's going on in this league, is the difference of owners that value the draft picks for the rookie draft picks. It's just very, very interesting. You have some guys that don't value the rookie drafts at all. You have some guys like myself that really, really value the rookie draft. And, if I had to be a betting man, I think the people that don't value the draft picks, I'm not just saying this because I do, because my team could be asked for the next 3 to 5 years. I think they're going to regret it, especially with this rookie draft class. So many guys that you're watching in college that I think are pro ready and they're going to make a big difference. And I think the NFL is changing to a degree where rookies are starting to make a bigger difference right away than they used to. So I think that the people that didn't invest in the rookie draft this upcoming year are going to regret it, because I think the people that have some top picks are going to have some success. They're going to flip their teams pretty much right away. We have, even Jim, which is he's a big Lions fan. I can't think of his team name right now. The Lions are king. He's 6-2. He's all in this year. And, if he can win one, it's probably worth it. It's like when the Lakers traded for Anthony Davis, it was worth it because they won a ring, right? A lot of people were like, oh, imagine if they would have kept all these people. Well, they won a ring, so it kind of like justifies it. So, I understand why people go all in when they feel like they have a chance to win. But then it's like, if you don't have a chance to win, I don't know, it's a tough line. And I think that's the best part about the league we have going, is that there's so many different angles you can take, and there's no right or wrong answer. I think that there's multiple ways to win. And I think that's what made the conversations funny today, is like, not one person has all the right answers. Like, there's multiple ways to build their team. And, I guess the way you got to view is, do you want to finish 5th every year, or do you want to win one once every 5-6 years, whatever it is? So, you do the math. If it's $100 buy-in and you get over $1,000, you got to win once every 10 years to stay even. So that's kind of how it is. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I think you're going to see rise and fall of teams in this league pretty consistently. It will be very, very impressive if somebody can stay in the top 3 to 5 every year. And that will be impressive, I'll tell you that. So let's get right into the bylaws. I think the trading is going well. I just think that the value of the rookies, and I would say the one thing that blows my mind is the people that aren't valuing the rookie draft. They value the young guys in the league so high, though. That's almost the same thing, in my opinion. Like, if you're valuing a 23, 24-year-old, but then you're not saying that rookie pick is worth shit. Like, that's gonna be the same type of player. So what you're saying is if you draft him, his value would just go that much higher. Like, so that's kind of where I get a little confused. But again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And the way I view it when I offer a trade, I've said this. I always start on the low end, and some people get mad about it, but I view it like if I'm going to buy a car, right? Like, I don't walk in there and offer above or even the same value of what that car or truck is worth. Like, when I bought my truck, I didn't walk in there and say, oh, sticker's 42,000, I'll give you 50. No, I walked in there and said, I'm not looking to spend 30,000. Now, did I spend more than 30? Yeah, I did, but that's just that was a negotiation, right? Like, if I walk in and say I'm willing to pay 50 and the truck's worth 42, now the salesman can do his work. Like, so that's kind of where I'm at with the negotiation. I think everybody should always counter or just say, hey, I'm not interested in getting rid of this guy. Like, I've said that with AR, like AR and Jonathan Taylor. Like, I've gotten a lot of offers for them. I've been real close to trading Jonathan Taylor, but like, that offer is gonna have to blow me away. So they're not really on the market for me. Like, I'm always open to listen. Like, you can always send me an offer, but like, I'm probably not gonna counter you like unless you're that close, just because at that point we're just wasting our time, and I don't want to counter you and you accept it if I don't really want to trade those guys. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I think the conversation's good, even if it gets heated a little bit. That's what makes this league so fun. There's 24 guys, 24 personalities, 24 different ways, 24 guys just trying to win, and that's what we want. That's why it's called the Badass Fantasy League. The bylaws, they're pretty simple. I told you guys I'm not gonna overcomplicate things. I don't want to be that guy. I want the league to run smooth. It's really been nice. I've got to know some of the guys. I shouldn't say no. I'm not hanging out with them, but through conversation, and I respect the honesty from a lot of people. And I want to improve as a commissioner. I want to make this league fun but competitive. I want to kick all your guys' asses. I hope you want to kick my ass. So the bylaws are to keep competitiveness fair, to not allow somebody to get an advantage. That's really what it is. That 24 guys have the same opportunity to go win the league every year. So we got rushed a little bit getting into it. I was like 20 teams. I didn't think we were going to get 20, and then we got 24. And so things just happened. I wish we would have paid a little bit more. But I'm going to trust the 24 guys that message pretty much everybody. Knock on wood, all 24 guys stay, and we don't have to worry about that. If not, we'll make it work. We know enough people, and I think the league will be good enough that we'll be able to convince some people. But my fingers are crossed. I'm knocking on wood that all 24 guys, you guys are all willing to stay, and you guys are willing to be a part of it for a long, long time. So, with that being said, though, first bylaw, you have to pay the next year's dues by Super Bowl Sunday. Obviously, hope that everybody pays before that. Just $100. We're not going to raise the fee yet. I say yet, but we'll see. It will be interesting once I order all the trophies and the gear, and you guys are going to be surprised by that stuff. I don't want you to think it's going to be some lame trophy. Like, I want some cool stuff, man. I want you guys to post some pictures on your social medias. Wear some of the gear to the family, family events you have, and have people be like, man, you got that? And like, yeah, I got that shit in my fantasy football league. It's legit. So I'm gonna surprise you guys. I tell you that much. I'm taking pride in it. Like, it's not just a waste of money. So I'm very, very excited for that. To get it going. Like I said, the lady I'm working with, that'll be more towards the new year. She had some projects with bigger high schools, and obviously, if you don't know, football in Texas is different, so those projects are much big time. So yeah, we'll be patient, but I can't wait to get that stuff out there. And then obviously, the winner with the cash prize and all that speaks for itself. So it's $100. I put the date on the bylaw. I don't remember right off the top of my head, but Super Bowl Sunday, that's when it's due. Moving forward, in order to trade any 2027 picks or beyond, you have to be caught up. And so what that means is pretty much you'll have to pay for 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027 in order to pay for those 2027s. So I think if you do the math, that's $400. And it seems like a lot, but it's really not. it kind of keeps you invested. And I don't think a lot of people will pay the 400 right off the bat. And so what it will do is kind of level off the trading, which is okay. I think we could use that. We have so many picks that are flying around, and it'll be interesting. I think some guys will pay the 400, and so that's how it is moving forward, and is that 2027. But in order for that to happen, you have to be caught up to date. You can't just pay for 2027 and be like, oh, here's another $100. No, like you got to be paid throughout the years, and that kind of makes up for not having to pay at the beginning, in my opinion. So that's the bylaw. So again, and then say you get paid up to 2027, the year ends. In order to trade 2028, you'd have to pay that 100. And whatever, if you're not paid and you put a draft pick in there, I will. The trade will be vetoed. It's just the way it is. It's not really up for negotiation. So that's where we are with that. Expansion. I'll be honest with you guys. I want to get the league to 30 to 32 teams at some point. I think that would be sweet. I think it would be awesome to have the same amount of teams as the NFL does. I know somebody had messaged me already, like, what would that look like with quarterbacks and bye weeks and kickers and defense? Everybody would have one bye week, right? Like, just kind of is what it is. I already know that we'll be looking at some roster rules of not being able to keep so many quarterbacks on the rosters and all that stuff. So those are things that we'll look at in the off season. Like I said, I'm a big stickler on once we start the season, the rules are in place and you just deal with it. Unless it's a rule that's just screwing everybody and the majority, everybody in the league agrees, then we'll change the rule. But those are some rules we'll look at in the off season. But the expansion is there has to be 4 or more teams at one time. They all have to be paid, and I have to interview each one of them. Basically, make sure they're fantasy junkies. They're good guys. They understand the bylaws. They understand the rules of the expansion draft, all that. So once I get 4 people that are committed and it's the end of the year, they paid the entry fee, full price, then we would have an expansion draft. Basically, we would keep 3 to 5 guys on our teams, lock them in, and they would get to pick from the rest of the guys. And that's how that would work. And that would be voted. How many people we keep per team would be voted, and majority would be it is. If there was a tiebreaker, I'd pick 3 random people, and they would break the tiebreaker. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. That's part of it as being the commissioner, and you guys got to trust my judgment. I'm not going to just drop expansion on you like the day of the draft. It would be something that I would let you guys know in advance, and we'd have 4 good people. Like, it would benefit the league, I'll tell you that much. Will it happen anytime soon? I don't know. I really don't know. It's not like I'm out messaging people. I'll tell you that. I'm not doing that. I don't have time for that. But my goal is that you guys wear that gear and you share some of the stuff on social media, and you love the league so much that your brother-in-law, your brother, your cousins, your buddies, your guys at work, they want to get in the league, and that's how we grow it. And it just becomes that much more competitive. And the way I view it is if we're growing and the league's becoming more competitive, we'll figure out the rosters, right? There's bigger leagues, much bigger leagues than ours. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. We're smart enough. We're all sports fans. Like, they make these apps for a reason. Like, we'll figure it out and make it fair for everybody. If you want to change a rule, a scoring issue, a whatever, roster limit, size, you can recommend those. They'll be voted on in the off season. You can just PM me. You don't have to, put in the league chat. You're more than welcome to. But if you don't want to be that guy that starts, the argument, if you can just PM me and then I'll bring it up. And if majority votes on it, it passes. That's the way it is. It can be the dumbest thing. I will put it in the chat. They won't know who it came from, and I'll say, hey, this is up for vote. If it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's pretty simple. I think that's pretty safe. That's the best way to do it with the 24. You guys saw the league payouts. If you do the math, I think the total comes, I don't know, the $75 comes like $1,800. So I've told you guys like $1,300, $250. I'll try to make it a little more than $1,300 if I can get the trophies and all that for a little bit of a lower price. But no matter what, you'll get $1,300 for first place, $250 for the best regular season record, and $250 for runner-up. I think 250 is fair. If you're buying $100, that gives you your entry fee back and 50 extra bucks. So, you know, again, if we want to get up there more, we can add make the entry fee a little bit higher. That's something you could propose. I don't necessarily want to be the guy that proposes that. I'd like to propose that the commissioner gets paid. Now, I'm not doing it to get paid. I think maybe at some point, but I'd like to prove my value first before anybody proposes that. And if I think at some point I would like my work to be proposed by somebody else, that would mean a lot. So that's kind of my goal. But I'll let you guys decide that. I think $100 is fair for now. It'd be nice to get up there to where we're like the payouts like 2,500 for a league like this. I think is fair, but $100 is good for now. But again, if that's something you guys want to change, somebody just has to propose it. That's basically what I'm saying. If you want something changed, you just have to propose it, and I'll put it through. It could be the dumbest thing, as in like, I don't even know, like, add a defensive player. Propose it. If it passes, we'll make it happen. I think that's it for the bylaws. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I don't think I did. They're pinned on the Facebook page. I want guys to get more active in the Facebook page. I don't know if we just have a bunch of people that don't use Facebook. It's pretty much a private page. I mean, it's not private, but people have to follow. It doesn't have a big following, but I enjoy doing that stuff, and I'll enjoy it more. Like I said, that Blake S has been commenting on stuff. I love it. That makes me want to do stuff more and more and more. Is when people comment, have fun with it. Don't take it personal if I'm talking smack. It's just to get engagement and stuff like that. And I do try to do pretty much honest reviews and like throw in a little spin of my own. So yeah, have fun with it. But I think we need to get more active in that. It's not that I don't want the stuff in the chat, but it's just I want that to grow. I kind of want that to be our page where people are like, man, check this league out. So that's why I do that. So I think that's pretty much everything except for the matchup of the week and some predictions. I'm just trying to think if I've missed anything. I know we have talked about League Safe. It's going to be tough to use League Safe with the rules that we have and the money going in and using the money. So I prefer not to use League Safe. I think that once you guys get the gear and the trophies, like nobody's going to question anything. Like we're straight up dudes, man. I'm showing you my house pictures. Like it's just straight up. Like that's how it is. I know people have had bad luck before, but like you just got to trust us. But we're going to need that money some of that money to fluctuate to get stuff ordered. And my goal is every year to learn and make stuff better. That's what I'm saying. Like I really, really want, the trophies and the gear and, eventually us to have our own logo and stuff like that. And even the social media pages to grow. And so we got to be able to do that. Like that's the thing. Like it's almost like a business. Like we're trying to grow a business. We're trying to make the best fantasy league possible. That's kind of the goal. So I know that's something that's been talked about, but I don't think we need that. You just have to trust it. Coach Trav will pay everybody out. That's why the money gets sent to him, and then I'll use what is left, the percentage for the gear, the trophies, and stuff like that, and to mail out to everybody. Since we got people all over the place, which makes our league special. Again, I recommend get to know the guys. I think that's the one thing our league is missing to some degree is chat it up with guys. You just don't know what connection you can make from stuff like this. Like we got people everywhere, we got people in all sorts of careers and stuff like that. So use the opportunity to get to know the guys. And like I said, you just don't know what will come out of it. So I'd like to see that a little more. Maybe that's happening behind the scenes. And but yeah, I would say just get to know people and that a little bit. That's about the Facebook, and the more you comment, the more we know about each other. Just the better it is, I believe. I just like to see that a little more interaction, and I think it will help our league grow. Now, on to week 5 as we go. Match of the week was pretty easy for me to pick. It is T-Town's finest at 7-1 versus the Godfather. Projection right now is the Godfather has 73% chance to win. Let's go position by position in the matchups. You got Brock Purdy for T-Town, and you got Tua for the Godfather. Tua plays the Giants, and Brock plays Dallas. So Dallas and San Fran is probably going to be a low scoring. I don't know, two decent offenses when they're locked in. but two good defenses as well. So I think Tua has the advantage there. Then you got Pollard and McCaffrey. Um, again, they're both going against those two defense, so it's kind of a wash. I'd maybe say C-Mac a little bit more has an advantage just because I think he's involved in the passing game a little bit more. And then Trav still has to make some moves, so the percentage is a little off right now because he has Keenan Allen and Hunt on a bye, so he'll put guys in. But then, Godfather has Ridley, Thomas. Again, these are just two solid teams top to bottom, so it'll probably come down to Trav will put Kamara in, so that's 14 points already. And then probably we'll play Lazard at Denver, just because Denver's defense is. So this is going to be an interesting game. Probably first team to 110 wins. But this is a big game because you got Teton at 7-1, Godfather at 6-2. The thing is whoever wins will go 2-0, and the other person will probably go 1-1 because they'll probably outscore the median. If I got to pick, I'm going to say that the Godfather does win this one. Just due to the matchups to some degree. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Trav won. These are two of the top teams in the league. Very, very good matchup here early. Could be looking at a future playoff win. So that's the matchup of the week. Good luck to you guys. But my prediction is the Godfather wins. I'll predict 114 to 106. He beats T-Town's finest. Let's go real quick, go through the other matchups. You got the Lions or King versus Cat Dad myself. Lions or King will win that. Pretty self-explanatory. My depth is shattered. JT is back, though, I think. I don't expect much from him, really. I don't think he's invested in the Colts, so I think he's just going to be out there to be out there. We'll see, though. Obviously the Lions are King. Derrick Henry's coming off a big week. Trevor Lawrence has been playing better, so his team is solid. Brandon Ayuk's been a beast, so yeah, he'll win. So the Lions or King will win that one. The next one we got is Team Top 5 DOA versus Caddy Kickers. Top 5 DOA has some guys on buys as well. I'm kind of looking at his bench. Yeah, I'd have to say Caddy Kickers does have the advantage, but it really just comes down to those tight ends. Do they catch some multiple passes and get him the points that he's looking for? Or, do they underachieve and then he kind of struggles? But I'll go with Caddy Kickers winning that one. Then you got Bums and Show Me Your TDs. Looking at this one's going to be interesting. I think that the Bums is going to pull the upset here. I think that his team's kind of coming into his own, but I like some of the matchups that he has. It will kind of come down to they both have to play some bench guys, so it will kind of come down to that. But I'm going to say the Bums pulls the upset on Show Me Your TDs this week. And then you got Chasing Hardwares versus Papa Smoke. Let's say that Chasing Hardware is going to win that one, but let me double check here. Stafford against Philly is probably going to be an issue. Jamar Chase versus the Cardinals, though, that could be a big, big game. The best one for him, but I expect Jefferson to put up some big numbers against the Chiefs. I'll say that Chasing Hardware wins this one, but I do think that Papa Smoke could outscore his percentage for sure, and this could be closer than what they're predicting. Then you got Legend 21st versus Mamba 57. I think I've said since draft day, Legend 24 has the best top-to-bottom team. Only thing holding him back is Daniel Jones, but he's playing Miami this week. Miami's defense is atrocious, so I expect Legend 24 to be over 110 and kind of run away with this one. Then you got Going In Raw versus Teamwork Makes Her Squirt. I think that Teamwork Makes Her Squirt is kind of going to be on the way down. I think he may lose a couple, just going to level off. Going In Raw has lost a couple of tough matchups, has a solid team, just has the worst quarterback running back duo, but I think he wins this one, kind of moves him closer to 500. And then you got Dan Stutz versus K. Ritter. K. Ritter made a big trade today. Dan Stutz kind of relies on Justin Fields playing Washington on a Thursday night game. It's a tough one. I think K. Ritter wins this one. He got Mac Jones. Can Mac Jones bounce back? But the Saints have a solid defense, so Mac Jones could struggle again. I don't know. This is a tough one. Personally, I think Dan Stutz will win this one. But this may be the lowest scoring matchup of the week. But I'm going to say Dan Stutz pulls the upset on that one. And then you got Lions Super Bowl champion versus Easy A-. I think Easy A- is on his way up as well. So I'm going to say that Easy A- pulls this one out. Kenny Pickett is questionable and playing Baltimore, so you're not going to see a lot of points there. He does have some guys that are out on bye week too, and his bench is not very strong. He's going to be riding the Lions. You got Montgomery and Laporta. He's going to need them to have big weeks. which they could against Carolina. But yeah, half his roster is Detroit, so kind of riding with the Lions. Um, then we got cooking up dubs for that cup, and then Team Mud Dogs. Um, if Cooper Kupp is back, that's going to help him out a lot, that's for sure. Mud Dogs is just solid with Cousins, Tyreek Hill, Curtis Samuel, Herbert. Um, yeah, if Cooper Kupp plays, I'm going to say that he pulls the upset here. But this could be another one where both teams beat the median, and it's 2-0 or 1-1. But I'll say that Kupp wins on an upset here. And then you got Scoop versus Team Be More Careful. It actually has Team Be More Careful with the win. Scoop, what's going on here at quarterback? Oh, Justin Herbert on a bye. So yeah, he's in trouble. So yeah, Be More Careful is going to win this one maybe by default. That's part of a 2014 league, man. Wish you the best. But Team Be More Careful with England's playing better, and he's got some young receivers that played well. And it looks like Breece Hall is going to start getting more touches for the Jets. They're going to kind of ride that run game. So yeah, I expect Team Be More Careful to win a few more games. And then we got the Fighting Kneecaps versus the Looney Tunes. And let's see, the Fighting Kneecaps has Dak. Dak's going to, against San Fran. You got Jalen Hurts versus the Rams, Najee, Garrett Wilson. This is a tough one. I'm going to say that the Fighting Kneecaps pulls an upset here too. So I got some upsets. So what I like is you're just looking at these and you can't really look at most of the matchups and pick a team. Like, it really comes down to a lot of role players, like a lot of guys you just don't know and who can find the end zone. So that's this week's podcast. Like I said, check out the bylaws. I think they're good for the league. They're self-explanatory. Trust in the league, be invested in the league, get to know the guys in the league, and just keep having fun, keep being competitive with it. Like I said, there's two things I want to see. I want to see get to know the guys more, and I want to see more engagement on that Facebook page. Other than that, if you got questions, let me know. I'm here for y'all. I got to get to bed. I'm tired. It's about midnight my time, and I got to be up early. So I do appreciate y'all. The Badass Fantasy League is growing. We're learning every day. It's a very, very competitive league, and it's going to be competitive for a long time. And I'm so excited. And if you guys listen to this, comment on the YouTube page, comment in the chat. I do appreciate it all. But Commissioner's Eyes out. Tell your loved ones you love them. Stay blessed. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Enjoy Thursday Night Football, and then enjoy the weekend. Stay safe out there, and hopefully y'all win. You didn't hear this, but hopefully I lose. See y'all. Peace.